would look at comedy as though it's just consistent on this time, or like a timeline, just consistent. So would you say it's evolved?
Well, what really, skyrocketed. Is that word, skyrocket? Skyrocket?
It is today.
Skyrocketed.
It is right now.
What really got my career started was Def Jam comedy. When Def Jam comedy started, what Def Jam did for black comics, this is just me saying this, it showed America, it showed the world that there were black funny people. There was no place that they got showcased. And then after Def Jam, you had Comic View, you had the Kings of Comedy, you had, female, the Queens of Comedy. So black comedy has just changed the game. I believe we're funnier. We sell more tickets. We just don't get the breaks, that the white comics get. A white comic can have a special. Next thing you know, he's got a television show. It doesn't seem to happen like that with black comics. Look at this show tonight. Corey Holcomb, Damon, myself, Ricky. Some of us got some shows, but for the most part, there's a lot of funny black comics out there that just don't get the recognition that the white comics do. I don't know why it is. I think it's racism, but I tell you also, if it had not been for black comics doing what they do, some of these comedy clubs would be closed up. They wouldn't even be in business because we sell more tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
and you can charge more money for it.
Exactly. I know, I almost couldn't make it tonight. Everybody get this little stuff right here. but that's actually some of
It's the absolute truth. You got these comedy clubs, the improvs, the yuck yucks, the ha-has, the giggles, the snickers, whatever the name are. If you look at the schedule, they'll bring in Bob, Billy Boy, White Boy, and the tickets will be $20. And then they'll bring in some more. They'll bring in Cat Williams, or they'll bring in Mike Epps, or they'll bring in something, and the tickets are $40. So that just says we're bringing in more money. We're making more money for these clubs. So that's just the way it is.
Okay, so I'm curious as to how you got started. Like, what was your first gig, first show?
When I first started out, I was going to be a tailor. That was my ambition in life, was to make clothes, and I went to tailoring school, became a tailor, and I moved to, after that I moved to Atlanta. I was gonna go to this tailoring school. They have tailoring school down there, and I got accepted to the tailoring school, but my grant was short. So they wouldn't let me start. It was like $316. So you know how when you leave home, I said, well, I am not gonna go back home. I'm just not gonna. Maybe I'm not going to school, but I ain't going back home. So I didn't go back home, and I started doing comedy in Atlanta. There's a place called Mr. B's, and I did comedy there, and the rest is history. I stopped sewing.
You don't need to no more. Look at this suit. Look at this suit, though. Oh, but that's really interesting what you were saying about the history, because Color BTV is basically what Sydney's goal is to get more African Americans like limelight, or give them the opportunity to be on that platform.
It's needed. I mean, back in the day, one thing I know about comedy is I know the history. I know how the struggle of black comics in terms of playing the quote-unquote chitlin circuit, and what the Apollo was a very famous place in New York where white comics would come, watch black comedians perform, and take their acts and put it on television, because the black comics couldn't get on television. But now the game has changed. Color's starting to rise up, which is good.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah,
right on
with it, right on.
You're so funny.
Hey everybody, this is yours truly, J. Anthony Brown, and you're watching Color Me TV. Watch out there now.